Incompetent furries the show, I guess.
Hello, it's BrickBot, and September 4th, 2024 was Miniforce's 10th anniversary. Just about 10 years when the first episode of the first Miniforce series premiered. Back when it first aired on the educational broadcast system. Yeah, can you imagine, like, this is the third major Korean Transformer franchise that's celebrating its 10th anniversary. 10 years of animal Power Rangers, like,
Furry Rangers.
10 years of Power Ranger figures that were just pretty basic, and then 10 years of roleplay toys, 10 years of pretty cool transforming mecha, 10 years of lowbrow cartoon insanity.
What the heck?
A cross-dressing barb.
Goblins.
Oh, a woman.
I'm here to promote the pizza place.
This is so weird.
So I guess I'll celebrate by looking at some of the box collection Miniforces I collected on cheap. Starting with the very first one that started all, these guys. So, two different versions. The original Sonokong version. Yeah, back when Sonokong distributed these. They're a distributor, not necessarily the toy company that makes new stuff. Yeah, so I got this recently, just found this in the little old Mumungu. Less than this price, actually. So yeah, that was a lucky find. I also ordered two of these 2020 reissues from Toytron. Years ago, I remotely ordered Voltbot and Sammybot because I just wanted the mini to review in America, but whichever seller sent those actually just sent the big DX versions for so I got these two big ones for $10 each. Yeah, so I just kept them in storage until I could review them now. Oh yeah, this new version still has the Choi Rock Contest Factory on it and EBS, so I guess that was a triple joint venture for their first release of Miniforce that they still kind of have the rights to, all three of them. Went with a different packaging style, so I guess these were released at the same time China was getting Miniforce for the first time around that time. Yeah, so just a different run here. So the packaging styles are quite different, you know, the CG model versus the original toy photos. And all just different presentations. Like Rangers not included. Whether you prefer photos of the actual toys on the boxes or just this fancy illustrations, CG illustrations. Tiny little Lucy the Fox, and that's a Sam G sticker of authenticity. Yeah, so this was right at December 2014, while this was in 2021, and maybe at least this run. Okay, the Power Ranger fans might be interested in also the figures and the roleplay weapons, but for Transformer fans, we're really only interested in the mechs and nothing else. Yeah, like the Force Trans Lucybots and Voltbots. The Force Transbots, which refers to specifically just them transforming from robots to vehicles and back. He says nonchalantly.
Watch out, Anna!
You don't look like a lizard.
This voice.
Well, he's speaking through the helmet. What were you expecting?
I don't think so.
What kind of voice is that?
This isn't going to be a comprehensive review of these four Transbots. They've probably been reviewed to death, or just played to death. But yeah, I guess it'll just be an overall overview of just the general styles and the quality of these toys. Yep, I got a perfect half and half, like 2 from the Sonokong era and 2 from the Toytron era. 2 new in boxes, 1 new in box, but that's been pretty old, and 1 I got loose. Just to complete the collection. Could have got a boxed one in a little store I saw years ago, but yeah, and then another one I got loose. Yep, so direct comparison between the Sonokong versions and the Toytron versions. Or the Jump Go versions, because I'm pretty sure the Chinese releases are the same as these ones. So let's see what you got if you collected these 4 over 2 different runs. Yeah, so we got a good sampler of Sammybot's Transbot, which is I guess a fire truck and or a military truck with lasers. Yes, you know, this was easier to find because Sammybot was the show former, and I didn't bother to get it in the new inbox because why only get 1/4 of a whole combiner? But yeah, this is close enough. obvious difference, you can see that the plastic colors are different. Yeah, this is a darker gray, while the SamG version is, the Toytron version is a lighter gray. Oh, they actually picked these out in metallic, so that's great. Overall, redder plastics for SamG specifically. I can't make a good comparison for the other three, for the base plastic colors, but all of them should have the lighter grays and the darker grays of the original, and that would go for the cannons, which, of course, are not here on a loose copy. On the front here, different paint applications. This is all the pretty solid gray paint with orange lights, while this is also silver with some yellow in there. And also the Miniforce logo. The classic Miniforce logo has been picked out differently. Just pretty nice outlines and the orange eyes. While this is like a new mold with the vents and pretty simpler outlines with no painted eyes, so I prefer the old logo style they did, and unpainted here. And yeah, it looks like these headlights are actually printed on instead of just stickers on the original. Stickers. Yeah, so of course, stickerless is appreciated. Different paint style here, and then silvery, solid matte plastic. Solid matte paint versus metallic silver paint. I don't know, I think this one rolls slightly better. Also, yeah, side vents here. Side vents are also, this is a darker silver paint. Yeah, so the one I got used, the max spot I got used with all little scuffs, I could tell was, I'm pretty confident it is the Sonokong version because stickers and the painted logo, while this is the Toytron version. Yeah, so comparing the two, which ones do I like aesthetically more? Honestly, I do like the darker grays on the originals and the logo, but I do like the more metallic paints and the printed decals they put on the Toytron version. If I can mix up the two, I probably would just like swap out all the light grays with dark grays. Yeah, but that's gonna be too much work.
You useless idiot!
Also, you know, I'd like whoever that is to voice Starscream.
Oh my good. Yeah, that sounds just like a good Starscream. I mean, he
He is kind of a Starscream.
I'll show you a different kind of overwhelming power.
Yeah, so the first Zords were pretty just cars. They were cars. Imagine starting off your brand new Power Rangers like franchise with cars. So I guess the Power Rangers equivalent would be like the Power Rangers Turbo or the Car Ranger.
It's actually not surprising because cars were the first time when each ranger got a transforming Zord.
And then think about what was contemporary back in 2014. The Power Ranger series were like the Dino Force that is still being reissued 10 years later, and the Train Force. But hey, transforming cars are always popular despite the fact they were car bots. Car bots at the same time. So aesthetically, yeah, I guess Voltmaxtron aesthetics is just the weirdest one. It's a squishy, cute little squishy sports car. It's pretty smooth. And then also very simplistic, like this is super smooth and back. No detailing at all. Not at all. Just little vents here. Oh, this looks just so simple. Then yeah, just contrast that with the SammyBot, which has a little more venting. It's on the side. Kind of military truck or fire truck. But it's still pretty simplistic if you compare to details on a typical fire truck toy. So honestly, I think I like Max Spot's aesthetics most. Just a nice, big, rugged four-wheeler. Big four-wheeler Jeep. Of course, pretty plain and simplistic on the side, but I guess maybe the side vents here, maybe the big girth of this Jeep is really makes a statement. And also the gas cap right here. Yeah, so this is a recently unboxed Lucybot. Yeah, you can tell that the front is a little yellow because this has been slightly sun-bleached, sitting out in the sun in a little store for over 10 years until I brought it home. It's a really nice little pink little SUV, just pretty small size compared to the bigger Maxbot. Also pretty plain, also a bit of a plastic paint discrepancy for pink plastic. The pink paint. The other ones color match pretty well. Nice black bumper. And also, yeah, really nice how they actually just color match this so that the black and then the pink here, it's pretty similar. So because I guess they couldn't figure out how to make this thing hollow enough, just a simple bar to cover up this. That and or a hollow frame would have broken easily, so that's a bit of an illusion. And yeah, this side pin has been really loose. Yeah, so that's gonna be annoying. This was a new one. Why is this flopping right out of the box? Of course, none of them have the rear view mirrors, because why would you need that for a giant transforming mecha? And of course, you know, Lucyback has a little obvious robot head crest ornament. And yeah, of course, I didn't apply the stickers. I'm just gonna keep those new in stickers while just leaving this blank, while on the Sammy version they would have been printed. And I already got a little paint scuff off of here. What happened? Yeah, so I guess these are very simple, and maybe the aesthetics are not much to write home about for these little guys, but for the first ones. But I guess it's a timepiece. Yeah, maybe it makes sense since its intended target audience is literally for 3-year-olds with just humor to match just 3-year-olds mostly, unless you're okay with insanity.
That face. It's like someone's gonna shove a walnut in to make him shut up. Sammy, do that, please.
All those faces deserve each other.
Now to transform these guys, I guess I'll start with Voltbot. Yeah, this spoiler is pretty tight fit. Yeah, also removable bits of kibble. Just that formed the underside of the car, but it kind of fills it in. But yeah, just 2 pieces to easily lose and just aesthetically spruce up the thing. So that's weird that only Voltbot has those extra accessory bits. And then go back, and then little obvious robot hood lamps on her feet. Tiny little flip out face. And then, of course, chest. And then, yeah, this is really hard to remember where these things go if you don't look at the instructions. I'm gonna look at the instructions. They fill in the headlights here. Yeah, really odd to make the headlight crucial connection points. Yeah, they can incidentally work on either side, so... Yeah, so there's your main lead. The main leader. The blue one. The Blue Ranger's the leader. Guess I'll do with Sammybot next. Yeah, I guess figure out how to unlatch that, and then... Careful not to split this obvious leg combiner. Split that out, and then noodle arms. Noodle arms. Total noodle arms. Yeah, I suppose just parts form these off to the side. Yeah, it gets preferably this direction where it covers the wheels. Made in China with very rubbable paint. Oh yeah, and then clips on the back. Clips on the back, and then the shoulders up, the shoulder bars up. Angle them down for the shoulder cannons. Gonna put these off to the side a bit as I do the Sonokong Lucy. Shoulder flare, head reveal. Removable tummy. Because I guess it's kind of hard to figure out how to... They couldn't figure out how to do that, so it's a removable tummy and a removable part, so... Watch out for that, and then... Big old clompers. Slide out, arm down. Then... Hands down, hands down. Lucybot here. And then Maxbot. I think there's little slots in here to lock your fingernails into. Yeah, I think you have to manually split this just to get the head in there. Get the head out of there and then... Yeah, shoulder up. And this side of this used one is pretty tight. It required a lot of force to lift it up. Yeah, watch out to make sure to get the shoulders in right, and then... Oh yeah, it gets torso down, just... Those are little... This entire pelvis is literally a beam. Yeah, I guess it was pretty unusual to have, like, Power Rangers style vehicles that actually transform like Transformers. Because most Sentai are usually just the vehicle mode, just the vehicle or beast that the Zord combiner live. So I guess this was pretty intuitive for a Power Rangers. Now the aesthetics. Well, you know, of course, I guess the super simpleness of the original vehicles, I guess they carry over. But I guess there are some mechanical details in panel lining. Also, of the weight, you know, honestly, Voltbot feels very light. He's just very light because hollow legs. But I guess these two are a bit chunky. Yeah, this actually feels lighter than Sammybot here. Just he has big chomper legs, and then yeah, it's a very odd aesthetic to have just a whole bunch of car hood hanging out of here. Lucybot has a big rack. Lucybot has a very big rack. That's a rack. Oh yeah, that also collapsible wheels. So I guess it feels a little cheap if, you know, a Transformer car is not aesthetically pleasing with a big, huge car chest hanging off of it. Because they couldn't think of any other way to make that more aesthetically pleasing, but... First lesson, and then... Bit hollow, and also, you know, the really spindly limbs and just not much bulk in the torso because these are triple duty. I guess also articulation varies, and kind of squeaky, but still nice clickety rackets. Yeah, I think Maxbot is like the most articulated of them because bicep and thigh swivels, all those super loose wrists that are bigger than 5mm, of course, with no weapons to hold the speaker whatsoever. Maxbot's articulation is pretty good, and then I guess Lucybot's also pretty good. New in box, like friction shoulders. I don't know what happened here to make his all super loosey. Also pretty soft ratchets, no thigh swivels because I guess these are double molded 2-piece thighs. Head around. Okay, then go around. Click up. Ball socketed head on a separate stock there. Okay, the main lead Voltbot is like the least articulated just because big elbow shoulder wheels, which if they were smaller would look more aesthetically pleasing, but these are big old wheels. Big wheels with brake rotors molded in them, I noticed, so that's superfluous detail, but it's always nice when supercars have brake rotors. Also, obviously, the force jet, the chest piece, that's called a force jet. Yeah, which you can also backpack, so that in case you want to get that out of the way for more articulation. Yeah, I guess that also kind of makes up for lack of bicep swivels. Very nice, loud and squeaky ratcheties for this 2020 version. Very loud. The thigh swivels. And then Sammybot. Also, yeah, just pretty nice. They hold pretty well. Reverse elbows, reverse knees because transformation, so that's a little weird. He could be a chicken walker because chicken, he's a chicken. Yeah, also bicep swivels, and I guess you can also move them outward, but yeah, you know, he is the least aesthetically pleasing because all bulk in the lower legs, nothing in the upper body, just it's very spindly, very hollow. And also, this 2020 version is just flopping all over the place, especially the shoulders. Are these shoulders like plastic pins? I mean, these are pins, but they're just flapping like as if they were just plastic hinges. Compare that with the original one. Yeah, with its grays, its darker grays. Yeah, these are holding pretty well. They're not flopping about, especially the elbow. A little squeaky this one, but not flopping. Also, I noticed that, the new versions actually add these show accurate eyes, a little extra paint, while these are pretty just dead black on the original Sonokong ones. Yeah, so 2 different versions of these side by side will make it a little off, since I have the original Sonokong Lucybot with dead eyes, while I assume the Toytron one has the painted eyes. Yeah, I think Maxbot's and Voltbot's eyes were just pretty solid. They were always solid, so I don't think there was much difference there. Yeah, but it really does make a difference between the Sammybot and Lucybot to have those painted eyes. So I guess the articulation is pretty good, maybe slightly better than most Carbots at the time, but then it's varying. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter if these Power Ranger like transforming mecha don't have the best articulation, because I guess the main point is just transforming and combining. So let's get to combining.
Oh, here we go!
Finally!
Alright, let's see how they look. Okay.
Yeah, I guess we'll start with Voltbot. Voltbot and Maxbot combo. Yeah, just remove these kibbles and then click them back in. Fists back in. Upside down. Then split springing head reveal. Yeah, hit the whole head in the torso, and then funny mode to have both heads at the same time. And I think this head is just pretty much exactly the same, just with extra antenna and less vent detail in the cheeks, oddly enough. Oh yeah, big clompers, big forearms, the big legs that form the arms. You had to puzzle your way out to figure out to flip out the robot fists, which are tiny little fists, so these are tiny little baby hands. Looks like there could be plenty of space, but then, I guess hinge clearance, maybe a slider would have been better. Itty bitty baby hands with itty bitty baby holes. With, useless baby holes because no intended accessories. None of these Force Bots needed accessories because they all had chest blasters, or except, of course, Sammybot has the shoulder blasters, so then everyone else has beam blasters. Yeah, so, oh yeah, of course, clip them, just clip the shoulder, wherever. Oh yeah, of course, the shoulders go right here. So now to turn Maxbot into legs. Yeah, I guess this could get a little confusing here, then. Legs with flopping feet. Okay, so just always keep them grounded, or else I guess the moment I lift this leg, the hands are gonna flop out. Hard friction. Yeah, this is really accordioning the legs. Solid legs. And then just plug them right into the headlights. You think Voltmaxtron. Okay, yeah, just for consistency, I guess I'll use I realize I'm mixing up the 2 versions of the combiners on there, like their main configuration. Yeah, I guess Sammybot's a pretty same ideal, just accordion those legs, then accordion those will back up. It's mostly 2 halves of the truck. Oh yeah, while these big combiner feet and their big heels split out, they splay out. I honestly forget where these cannons go. The cannons go onto the side, of course, while these fronts actually fill in. I thought these cannons should be pointing up, not sideways. Oh, right here. One single clip. So that's a little wibbly. Well, to be fair, there was always one clip on the main weapon port. So big legs and kneecap. Now onto Lucybots. Well, I guess I'll do the obvious thing first and just relocate this golden crest, this golden rubbery crest to the top of the head. Fold in. Oh yeah, parts forming. Parts forming, I assume. While, yeah, this torso goes down. This whole torso block. And then, yeah, relocate the pelvis here. Oh yeah, I think the leg removal is just for the 4 combination mode. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I guess it's kind of, you know, useless kibble in combined mode thing. No, wait, that's not the useless kibble, that's the arms. What am I saying? If I can only figure out how to get the arms out here. This is not how the arms work. Let me get the manual again. Am I forgetting about these little manual parts on the side here? Yes, I was. They're pretty well hidden, all things considered. Just extra flaps to cover up these big holes. And then flip out big combiner hands with some plenty of friction. Maybe they're a little too friction. Maybe that's why used Maxbots' wrists were all limp. Flipping out too much will probably wear these down. I can't say how well whether the SAMD version actually fixed that by putting a little less friction. Yeah, but there's the Lucysammytron. Yeah, I think this is where you see the Power Rangers influence, because the combiners are just meant for the sake of combining. They're not very aesthetically pleasing because super long, planky legs. They're stuck right in the headlights, which is pretty clever, but it means he has no pelvis, really. No pelvis, while this has a basic pelvis, but...
At least that's toy accurate.
Hooray! Let's see how they fight. It feels weird that the speedy one isn't the legs. Like,
instead, the super strong one is the legs. Yeah. Well, at least the jumping one is the legs. So they did something right.
Size difference really does make them look a little bottom heavy. Also, Maxbots, the Lucybots, I am getting these mixed up. Voltbots is just looking ridiculous with its super hollowness and tiny little baby hands. Sword accessory not included. That would have been a nice version for the Toytron reissue, but that's just an extra piece to lose. At least this has a little bit of light piping. Yeah, but this works beautifully because it looks like they're the exact same toys, you know, even though they had different plastics mixed up, so you can't interchange the Sonokong and Toytron versions. Yeah, let's do that. I guess this is kind of Transformer Energon style. Are the legs the same length by chance? Nope, they're not. So you have to make sure they're all the same legs. I guess the Lucy Maxbot combination works a little better aesthetically, but you know, while the Voltmaxtron just looks wider now. Kind of maybe fits the arms. Yeah, just real Transformers Energon energy. Power lengthening energy, especially with Voltbot with his super long arms that were always legs, that were optimally meant to be legs, but were not optimally meant to be arms with tiny little baby hands that are half waffling on the outside. Yeah, of course, pretty flat-backed compared to this one. Also, yeah, just, you know, these were the robot arms, so if you want to do with the LucyBot, you could just... Hello there, extra arms. I guess these are the most articulated these little arms can get because, of course, thigh swivels mean bicep swivels, or lack thereof. Well, yeah, thigh swivels mean bicep swivels. Top shoulder mount just because of combining. Then absolutely nothing in the legs. Unless you want to mistransform it, untransform it a bit to try to get some fake knee articulation, or just weak sideways, would recommend it, it's gonna all fall apart. So they're just here to stand here and just have two different combiners. While they eventually get all four of them together into one big combiner.
Penguin bazooka.
Yeah.
Just what
Penguin
we needed.
bazookas.
Yeah, but they
Or
don't turn
surfboards.
things into monsters. How could they? Don't they know how to use bazookas properly? Also, that face is totally not scary.
I think we got most of the work done for the combiner mode, the 4-in-1 mode. So yeah, I assume you just want to hide away those tiny little hands, those little baby hands. Hide away your shame, tiny little baby hands. Yeah, I assume these clips are for the main combiner mode. Just kind of flip these around just to have these kind of hang out here uselessly. Even more so these kibble bits, which I didn't see any instructions exactly where you're supposed to store these. I guess preferably in the original slots that were here, but they're already taken, so I mean you could put them at an angle, I guess. Now let me adjust the height a bit as I fold this in. Oh, this is a double hinge. I didn't realize. That's pretty hard friction and squeaky, very squeaky. Okay, this isn't gonna work. Yeah, you're feeling useless now, aren't you? Bits of aesthetic kibble. I'll figure that out later. Oh yeah, of course, when you plug it in here, this is the hardest part. That's pretty tight grip. Oh, you're just gonna take Lucy off. Yeah, just get back in there, do extra freaky arms. Become big shoulder pauldrons again, and then hidden clips in the back, clip right here. Yeah, I guess these just go back here and are just kind of hanging out in the back, you know. At least they're not detached from the main vehicle, and they just... Yep. I think I need an extra connection point. Does this have an extra connection point? Does this have an extra connection point? No, I don't think this has an extra connection point. It's just held in by here and just resting on top of here. I'm gonna have to be careful. Yeah, while I remove the crest and just move it back down here, and then the force jet forms a giant helmet, a big old helmet. So Lucy takes top billing. Well, I guess the Maxbot legs are just... The arms are basically the legs, just with bigger hands. While these hands hold away, and you have double hands. You have... It's funny to think, She can have 4 arms. Max can have 4 hands. Anyway, yeah, that goes in the same slot as Lucy's shoulders. I still don't know where to put these. This is kind of useless. These are useless kibble. The connection ports here are all taken up by the kibbleness. Just stuff him in there. Stuff him in there somewhere. He's not gonna move much. Yeah, so we have a Megazordy style Force Giantron. That's the name of the combiner. Doesn't exactly say on this original, this Toytron box. Well, the Sonokong box. Yep, it says the Force Giantron. Yeah, so good job there. Yeah, I guess it's a pretty good color distribution at least. Just I guess the 2 cars forming the main central body kind of evens out the proportions of it, but yeah, this is really Power Ranger-y. Just very simple forward arm movement, just a little bit ahead, nothing at the legs, because this is pretty huge, so you probably don't want this thing to have leg articulation that much. Time to bring out a Titan class just to remind you how big this is. Well, it's not big as a Titan class, but that's still pretty big for a giant combiner of just big size cars. Then if these legs were reversed, I guess you could give them extra elbows, but you can't move them out forward all the way because big shoulders, so...
General Kenobi!
Just here for the novelty of giant car combiner. Big Power Ranger combiner made of cars.
Charge all the powers of the universe! We shall defeat our penguin nemesis. Okay, they killed them.
So I guess Miniforce's first Megazord outing was not great, or just typically expected for Power Rangers, because at least the individual ones have better, they're more Transformer toys. I guess MaxBot's the best. Well, this is just pretty typical combiner affair, just with cars, I guess. Maybe that's comparable with the Power Ranger Turbozord. If it's colorful, then it will sell, because I think this sold well, but yeah, I guess these feel they're like growing pains, because just very simple. I guess the aesthetics. I guess the weakest point is the aesthetic. I mean, you have like pretty cool, smooth greebling or panel lining on inside of MaxBot's combiner arms, and then for Sammy Bots, these are pretty smooth. These are pretty smooth legs, so that's aesthetic simplification, except for MaxBot trying a little too hard. And also all the hollowness and pretty thin panel lininess, it just might be a little unsightly. It's also funny to think how this is Power Rangers aesthetic, while this is pretty simple, while the Raybot in the same first season it's kind of very different aesthetics here. Just this looks cooler, this looks more angular, like nice curved and angles, while this is pretty blocky. Like it's like 2 different designers worked on this, and then this toy did not come out in its original initial run. It came out of King Guys, and then in the second 2020 reissue run, this finally came out as a toy. So this is the first season mix. These are the first season mix, and to think it's like this big combiner and a 5 changer for the 5th Ranger. Yeah, but yeah, so they started with 5 Rangers right out of the go. Just all the 4 main Rangers and an extra 5th Ranger. 5th Ranger power up, just give it extra wings or just sit mode. Okay, I'm just messing around here. Yeah, so I don't know if you would want to go back and get these. I don't think these are worth reissuing. I mean, they did it 6 years after its initial run from a new toy company, so I guess Samty themselves could distribute it this time without a third party, but I don't know why would you do that. Maybe it's because I don't have nostalgia for these as Hello KRBrickBot, but I guess going back and collecting these is probably not going to be that much worth it. But I guess they're pretty easy to find on the secondhand market, so although I might pay a little, I paid about $30 for it. Just MaxBot just to complete the collection, but then New In Box collection is just purely for New In Box collections of Super Mania fans of Miniforce. I think that's still available on AliExpress, just the Toytron/Jumpgo version with a lighter plastic. Looking back at the Miniforce evolution, to think these were the only iterations of the Miniforce for 3 years, because they were all sticking to this first season. I think they took a break in 2017, and then in 2018 they came back with Axe.
Well, that's definitely an abomination.
The Xtron totally has the Earth Wars Optimus Prime head.
Oh yeah, oh my goodness, now I can't unsee it. It's Optimus X.
Next year, the Pentatron. I only got this because limited edition. Yeah, but I think there's been much aesthetic change. It's much more greebling details. Even if in particular it's black, so it might be a little lost, but I think I like how it got more details, although this feels a little less sturdy, so... A little ups and downs of, 3-in-1 combiners. The toy designers of the original Miniforce were probably from, maybe outsourced by Sonokong or Toyrock. Toyrock at the time, probably, as my guess, but Playwell took over from Pentatron Axe. Yeah, I guess the first two were from two different portfolios, while Playwell worked on the rest of the Miniforce mechs here from now on. Yeah, so I think Miniforce Axe is when it really got popular. I mean, just when it became more recognizable to the adult collectors, at least. And then over the years, as we got new iterations of dinos,
sentient burgers and fries,
Animaltrons, and I think then when Godbrave Studios started working on V-Rangers, the Super Cops toys, I think that's their best designs. I think those are the best aesthetics that Miniforce mechs have ever had. Yeah, so I think the Justice Titan is probably the definitive Miniforce mech. So for the 10th anniversary, I guess I'm also gonna get that Justice Titan, but in the limited edition black color. But that's not until November, so I'm gonna wait for a while. And I guess it's full circle with Miniforce's latest iteration, Pixel Power. That's the official name. That's the official localized name that's coming to Korea very soon. That came out in China first. Because I guess Miniforce is just getting really popular. Yeah, I guess it comes around just the main 4 into a big mech, not the main 5 anymore, right, for now. 10 years of design, it probably got smaller, but maybe better engineering at least, but it's kind of hard to find a criteria for what makes a good Power Ranger Sentai-like toy the best. I mean, obviously I think the aesthetics and more importantly the transformation quality and just how good and feels to how easy it is, how intuitive it is to combine it together. That's important. So it's just interesting to think how a little SamG studio, I guess mostly started out with animation, like it's been around at least the oddies, and then eventually just making strides with Power Ranger Miniforce and also Catch Teeny Ping, the girls brand. The current girls brand is also pretty popular. And just to think they probably do some new interesting things, because they have pretty tight competition with Bandai Korea and their Power Rangers. Power Rangers is a recognizable worldwide brand, while Miniforce is the Korean one. It's a relative newcomer, but they're doing unique things. They do different styles of, Power Ranger-likes. Although, I guess, Power Rangers is much more fun to watch than just a pretty simplistic insanity of Miniforce the series.
There are two types of people, those who tame dinosaurs and those who love tornadoes.
So here's to 10 years of Miniforce and many more years to come.
Even with your wacky and static Volt, Lucy, Sammy, and Max that we love to hate or just mockingly laugh at or just go along with the insanity. As long as Miniforce makes cool mecha toys, then we can just kind of ignore that part or, while we just focus on the cool toys. And SamG kind of redeemed themselves with a pretty well-written Metal Cardbot, so there's that at least.